So I was running one day, I was thinking to myself, if I run a 6-minute mile, that would mean I'd be running 10 miles an hour, right? That's not so good. Let's try this. And if I run a 10-minute mile, that means, so every 10 minutes I'm running a mile, so in 60 minutes I would be running 6 miles per hour. So then I was thinking to myself, how many minutes per mile would I have to run? How fast, question mark here, would I have to run in minutes per mile to equal my mile per hour? We can see here a 6-minute mile is 10 miles an hour, and a 10-minute mile is 6 miles an hour, so somewhere it has to cross over. It has to be between a 6-minute mile and a 10-minute mile. So how would we figure that out? Well, what I was thinking was, how about this? Let's try, if we let miles equal X, and we let the hour equal Y, then we know that our miles per hour would just be X over Y. So miles per hour would equal X over Y, right? But then we also know that our minutes then, if we have 1 hour, then our number of minutes just has to equal 60 times that. So it has to equal 60 Y. So if I run for 1 hour, I'm running for 60 minutes. If I run for 2 hours, 2 times 60 would be 120. So therefore, I can say my mile per hour, right here I have it is X over Y. But my minutes, if I want to know my minutes per mile, so right here I'd have a 60 Y over X. So my minutes per mile have to equal 60 Y over X. Okay, everyone following along there? So all I have to do is set those equal and solve for X over Y, and we're home free. So therefore, I have X over Y equals 60Y divided by X. Okay? And now when you first look at this, you say, well, you already have X over Y, and you have all this junk over here. How's that going to help you? Well, why don't we get rid of the denominator here and see if that helps at all. So here I can multiply both sides by X and both sides by the Y, so then I will get X squared equals 60 Y squared. And I can put the Y on the other side, and then I get X squared divided by Y squared equals 60. And therefore, I can say, coming up here, therefore I can say, I take the square root of both sides, like that. I can say X over Y equals the square root of 60. And therefore, when you do that with a calculator, you get about 7.75, approximately. 7.75. So now you know if you run 7.75 miles per hour, you will also run 7.75 miles per minute. So there you have a goal for yourself in this pandemic that we have right now. Why don't you try to run a mile, depending on your fitness level or something. Try to run 1 mile in the same, run 7.7 miles per hour and run a mile in 7.75, or you can just go out and run an hour and try to run 7.75 miles in an hour. And then you can say your miles per hour equals your miles per minute. So I hope you found that interesting. I sure did. And happy running.